Good to start? All right. Thank you, everyone, for coming out and bringing your lunch and all that. So, my name's Brandon Spunner. I'm the coordinator for the People's Action Group, and we have two very courageous, passionate members of that group, and I'll let them kind of share their story and what the PAG is and their involvement. But in a nutshell, it's folks with lived experience of homelessness and poverty that are using their voices. And so a big part of my role as a facilitator or coordinator is to actually get out of the way. So to help make some connections, but the group has their own expertise and their own power and their own story. That's the real gold of it. So with that said, I'll introduce Susie and Shire.
Hi, my name's Susie Gersoy. I'll start off by telling you a bit about my story. I became homeless after my two children were traumatized and violated by a babysitter. I eventually met the wrong crowd and got involved in drugs, trying to numb the pain of the guilt and everything that I was feeling as a mom of not recognizing the signs. So I was in and out of shelters, in and out of places that I used to call home, never really being stable. I accessed, at the time, Mary's Place, the shelter, and I was there for almost a year. And during that year, I was asked if I wanted to join a Housing First program called Step Home. And Step Home was stability housing, so eventually they got me stable enough, and I guess I did the work too, because I was pretty traumatized by everything. I was a zombie, we'll just say that. I couldn't even talk to people. I was heavily medicated. So Step Home, street stability housing, the support workers, counseling, everything that they connected me with really helped me to where I am today, and the support that they've given me throughout the years. I graduated Step Home and was asked to join PAG at the time. It was Participant Advisory Group, so it's people that participated in the street stability housing and wanted to have a voice and change things for the marginalized people still experiencing homelessness and every other relation like mental health, physical health, poverty. So throughout the years doing the PAG and working alongside two facilitators at the time were Nicole and Brad, and they were through the Waterloo Region Housing Stability System, and they were our facilitators. They taught us a lot. We've been involved in a lot of consultations that help change things for the marginalized people in our community. We give feedback on things that we feel that we have experience in, so our input is valued in the regional level. Just going through and looking through these accomplishments that we've done and what we've participated in. We've created community resource materials. We've sat in on a bunch of consultations about affordable housing, the basic income, about community inclusion, community startup, all sorts. For me, being part of the PAG, it's helped me grow. And it's helped me see different things that I haven't even been through, but my members of my group, they've been through other similar incidents, but maybe worse than I've been, or we all have something to contribute. We've also had one of our members that passed away in our group, so that was something that we wanted to make his name be known and asked if an award be named after him, the Colin Plant Award through the Housing through HUG. We've sat at food system roundtables, we've sat at harm reduction coordinating committees. The list goes on and over the years what we've done, and seeing that we're now with MCC and we're called People's Action Group, we believe that us being in a community-based group, that we can be more involved out in the community. We might need some help and ideas on how to get things started out in the community, but we're willing to do whatever it takes to help the people that are still out there experiencing homelessness. So I want to pass it over to Charlotte, and she has some things to say too.
Hi. So I as well was on Step Home through Mary's Place. Didn't want to be on Step Home. I was kind of forced into it. I was a little stubborn back then. Okay, still am. So yeah. I really enjoy the PAG. It gives you confidence. It gives you a family that you didn't have before. Like, some people just don't have family. I mean, we grew up, yeah, we were adults, but we weren't. We were making bad choices, and we learned from our mistakes, and now we can pass our mistakes, the stuff we learned from them, on to other people. It's really easy to go home at night and make, you know, even a box of craft dinner. And for people that don't have it, it's just crazy because we take it for granted. And now that I'm housed, I know there's many times that I've opened my fridge and went, wow, that's a lot of food. Even when there's not really a lot of food in there, it's still a lot of food. And I know I've said it to my kids numerous times. They'll be like, there's nothing to eat. And I'm like, go look again. We have tons of food. And I remember saying that to my mom when I was little. We have nothing to eat. My mom would be like, go look, there's food. And then not opening a cupboard and seeing nothing in there is the worst feeling ever. And then when you move on and you actually get to put something in that cupboard, you feel pride. But it's really hard to feel that pride because you're ashamed. Because you got it from the food bank, or you got it from a friend, or wherever. But the first time you get a paycheck again, or a subsidy check, and you put that food in that you paid for out of that money, that's when you feel really excited. And you make the biggest supper you've ever eaten in your life, and you don't eat half of it, because it's too much food. But it's hard to explain when you've never been there. And it's emotional, and I'm getting emotional already. It's crazy because Mary's Place was, people say that it's a dive and it's a dump and there's drugs, and it's not. That will be my safe point for the rest of my life. Not that I want to be there again, because I don't, but if I had to, I'd be okay with it. I'd be okay with walking through those doors again. Because not only did I hit my lowest point, my breaking point, I lost everything living at that place. I also gained everything living at that place. I got my hope back. I met my biggest role model in the world there. I met good friends there. I met Susie, Katie, Brandon. It's just crazy. But as PAG members, we have done a lot. We've worked together and we've talked about our stories and helped new PAG members along the way with their stories and help them get it out there. Because every person that sleeps on the streets or is homeless and is couch surfing, it's not the same experience. It's different. It's different for everyone out there. And we just want people to realize that not every one person needs a home, because some people don't want it. Some people just want acceptance. Like when you walk past somebody, you say, hey, good morning. Or I hope you're having a good day. Even though in your heart you know that they probably aren't. It just, a simple have a good day works. It could change that whole person's day. It could make that person walk into Lutherwood or like downtown community center and say, hey, you know what, can I have that pamphlet? And start them on a path to finding what they really want in life.
like she was saying, the PEG is like a big family where we're all mixed up in different areas of life. We've all struggled in different ways, and we want our voices to be heard for the people that don't have a voice, and raising awareness, educating people about homelessness and about poverty, and it could happen to anybody, and we don't want to be invisible, and the people that are still out there experiencing homelessness, they don't want to be invisible either. They want to be seen and heard, and we're trying to do that for them. So, thank you.
Create a bit of space for questions in that. And so, one, I don't know if you guys are okay to elaborate on this a bit, but just kind of maybe give the group a bit of an idea of what a PAG meeting looks like how often we meet and what that meeting looks like and that.
So as you know, people come out to meetings when there's food involved. It's true, it works. Food, and there's honorarium because we do provide input, and we want to change policies that affect the marginalized. So we meet once a month. There is other stuff that's going out in the housing stability system. Some of our PEG members are involved. Everyone is at their own pace, and we don't force anyone to do something when they're not ready, or we're just, it's a good group, and hopefully we can branch out more in the community and raise awareness and educate people. Did you want to say anything?
My first meeting, I was nervous and I was scared, but Keith told me that there's going to be Chinese food. And living at marriage place, you don't get Chinese food. So I was like, all right, I'll go. And I went, and I was like, oh, I have no clue what these guys mean when they talk. They weren't making any sense. And that was 8 years ago. 8 years ago. And I'm still on the committee, so it must have meant something. Because I go back, and I love it. And I won't not ever miss it if it's not there anymore, or if anything happens. And it's a safe place to go, and nobody judges you for it. Yeah, that's what I like about it. You don't get judged.
Yeah. So some of us have had opportunities of doing speakers training. So when we first started the PEG, we did get involved in a speakers training. Pat Capone was our teacher, and she was an awesome teacher, and I think that's why I'm standing here today too. And all the years that I've been speaking is from her lessons and the encouragement that Brad and Nicole gave throughout the years too. Just having facilitators and having the consistency of people being there for the group, it means a lot. Like, for someone not to give up on our group in the region, asking MCC to take over, I think it was the best move. So,
it's been neat for me to see, like, the group will have, like, in a meeting, I mean, we'll have folks from the region or other agencies come, and PAG will give feedback and guidance to projects or policies that are happening there. PAG members will get involved outside of those meetings and use their own expertise and their own strengths in that to help guide things, to help inform, you know, different programs and policies in the community. So you guys get involved in so many great things like that.
As PEG members, for people with lived experience of homelessness and every other issue related to that, and we get to sit on boards as people with lived experience, because everyone's sitting around that table talking about issues that relate to what we went through and what people are experiencing out there, and why not be sitting at the table, you know, to have our voices heard. So it's good that Waterloo Region really values our input at those tables. And yeah, it's a little intimidating because you got people that are educated and have titles and stuff, but really in the end, they're people just like you and me, and they have fears too, just like I do. And coming out of a board meeting and someone telling me, you know, I'm glad you asked that because I wanted to, but I didn't feel like I could, and You know what I mean? So it's good to be acknowledged that way, that I'm not the only one feeling that feeling, so.
That happens a lot in a board meeting, a lot to both of us.
Yeah, it's a little.
Plus, we learned a lot of stuff too. Susan and I went to this one last year, and it was, I can't remember, I know so many. It was a shopping cart. The guy went around with a shopping cart to prove a point. And it was change. There's a pin. It says change on it. And I remember, and it was, the whole city hall was full of people. And it's cool because workers that I worked with, I don't know if you saw any workers, but workers from like Mayor's Place, a different organization that helped us get started, were there. And it's nice to see them come up a couple years later and be like, oh, you're doing okay now, eh? And then it's like, yeah, thank you. You know, I didn't get a chance back then to say thank you. So not only does it bring our faces out and PAG out into the community, it gives us a chance to see that worker that we never got to say thank you to, right? You know? So a lot of times you just move out of the shelter and you don't see them again. You always have that, oh, I wish I could save that person. I like that part of it.
Yeah. So maybe for these last 5 or 10 minutes and that, just any questions or, yeah?
Well, just a simple question. Could you say a little bit about how many people are on the PAG and where they're kind of from?
So there's a lot of people from Kitchener-Waterloo. We do have a couple members that are from Cambridge. We do want more Cambridge involvement. We have, I believe, 11 members now. So we've had 2 people just join recently, and I think we want more too, right? Yeah, so. Did I answer your question? Anyone else?
I would love to hear what you're planning to do in the next little while with PEG. Like, do you have any kind of projects that you're getting excited about? Like, what's happening?
So we just finished creating 40 bags for the most vulnerable population to hand out in Cambridge, Kitchener. Those are going to be distributed today. So it's just a bag of hat, scarf, just personal hygiene stuff, toothpaste, toothbrush. Yeah, just stuff that we could come up with and get donated by people, and socks, lots of socks. So, yeah, and we're open to suggestions, and yeah, that we can do more out in the community.
Yeah, you guys, we just had some conversations around health services in the marginalized communities, so how to help inform that process for folks. Some conversations around using peer supports in the shelter system. So some groups have come to PAG and say, hey, this is an idea we have, what do you think? Where are there holes in our ideas?
So a few years ago we did a renter's toolkit that's on the region's website, and it's about preparing for housing search. Landlords, what do you look for? What's the good? What's the bad? Just a whole list of stuff on that housing help toolkit. So that toolkit they want to turn into actual modules that we do in the shelter system weekly, different subject every week for 6 weeks. So it'll be, hopefully, we'll get the go-ahead to do it and be part of it, but it'll be modules about landlord or takeovers, someone taking over your apartment and what to do. Just resources and ideas to help people while they're looking for a place to live and what they should look for. And it's still in the early stages, but hopefully we'll be out in the shelter system doing these modules and getting people to do their own housing searches and learn by those modules that we teach weekly.
It also has like how to find your ID, like how to get your ID and stuff. That's a big problem.
So the basic stuff that a lot of people don't know. People that are out experiencing homelessness now, they're not informed of how things have changed, and they need to be taught again. And
I had a question. smart enough not to ask anyone's age, especially a woman.
37.
what would
37.
what's kind of the average or the age demographic of people that are involved? What would it range?
So we just got a young mom, B, a 21-year-old. So yeah, she's the youngest. Yeah, but even having teens, a teenager that's out on the street experiencing homelessness, or yeah, like, we're open. We just want to get people involved and let them feel valued and appreciated.
So you've both accomplished a lot, and that's just, it's encouraging and it's great to hear. What are your personal goals? I mean, you're with PAG and you're doing a lot. Do you have anything personal that you're working on, and let's say in 2 years from now, what is it that you have want to have accomplished?
My huge thing would be my GED. So I have one more credit to do, and just finding time to go back to school and do that one, even 2 classes a week. It's hard because this is something I'm really passionate about, and other stuff that I'm doing out in the community I'm passionate about. So it's just one more credit, and hopefully I'll get it done before my 50th birthday, and yeah. But I always thought, I always thought that I wasn't smart. Because when you're told that all your life, you believe it. But when I went back to school and actually did it, like, I am smart, I can do it. Yeah.
Mine's easy. I want to work at Mary's. Yeah.
You want to work at
Mary's Place. Isn't it YWCA?
Yeah.
YW,
That's all I
Emergency
can do,
Shelter.
Mary's Place to move, sorry. Yeah, I've always wanted to work there. Yeah.
You're also working on a project that's out in the community. Would you share a bit about that?
So I've been working on KW Homeless Memorial. I've been working on it for 3 years now. And we actually are going to be sitting down with city arts and culture groups on March 11th. And we decided that we're not going to pursue Victoria Park as a location for the memorial. It's going to take another year and a half to do it. And this isn't something that I want to fight for. It shouldn't be something that we should fight for. So I'm going to accept the location of Duke and Queen, Vosgill Green, where they're going to be redeveloping that whole area, that whole park, where it's going to be open, lighted. Like the pictures and the drafts that we seen last meeting we had, they're just amazing. It's going to be in its own special spot alone, and I believe it's going to be positive for it to be there. So that's going to be done hopefully this year. It will be done this year. So yeah, something to look forward to.
Can you share what you want it to look like and what you hope it is for the community?
I wanted to actually raise awareness about homelessness, help educate people, even people that are on the street, living life on the street. To me, it's actually dying on the street. You're slowly dying on the street. To maybe sit there and contemplate how they can maybe change their lives so that they don't end up where a lot of people have ended up, right? And it could be an eye-opener for a lot, too. Just a place for someone to go and reflect and remember lost ones, It's something that's needed, and it's good to have a place to grieve. Yeah.
Any other questions? I just want to say a huge thank you to you two for sharing, and that it takes a lot of strength and vulnerability. So maybe a round of applause, please.